Wonderful interaction between the dignitaries as well as the panel speakers. I started this panel discussion focusing on chronic diseases and vascular issue where we end up in westernized causes where we have amputations. But what we hear more is the landmine trauma, and traumatic injury is the one which is significantly out there for amputations and for the persons with disabilities. I thank you. I thank you, His Excellency, for Permanent Mission of India, Syed Akbaruddin, for organizing this event, bringing forth the work of, okay, Ashita?
Her Excellencies. 2 years ago, I initiated a nonprofit organization called Prosthetics for Change, the first subsidiary of Jaipur Foot USA. Our organization has sponsored 119 prosthetics for the less fortunate, ensuring that for the disabled, the process of obtaining a prosthetic is both simplified and seamless. I'm reaching out through this international platform on this occasion to increase youth involvement for humanitarian and philanthropic work. I didn't just come here to speak. I came here with a purpose and a desire to make an impact, and to do this, we need everyone to be involved. Currently, there are not as many students involved in social impact as there could be. In school, students are required to take an English class, a history class, and a language class, but not one of these classes is geared towards humanity. And while most students are required to complete community service in order to graduate, most believe it is a burden rather than a pleasure. Students buy new clothes, they buy new shoes, but they never think about that these are just their wants and not their needs. They never think about how people in the world are struggling to even sustain their families, to have a home to live in, and to feed their children. The lack of care that the youth have towards humanitarian causes is ultimately due to the fact that empathy is not taught on a wider scale. I am here to stress the urgency of this situation. There are millions of dollars funding organizations that are geared towards cancer awareness, gender equality, and other global health issues. However, statistically, the number of youth involved in these organizations is relatively low. We are the next generation, and if we don't continue the work of giving back, these organizations will not exist. As a starting solution, all schools should require their students to take a social impact course, to educate students about the importance of giving back to their communities. It has to begin with someone, but who? It has to begin somewhere, but where? It has to begin sometime, but when? Today is a day for action, for change. I want to continue galvanizing students around the world and participate in their social cause. I want them to find their passion and participate in social causes as advocates for the next generation. We would need all men and women to come together and encourage the youth to continue giving back. That starts today in this room with all of us. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. Thank you.
Ashita, that
Could I
was...
say something?
No, please go.
Incidentally, I was very interesting. Young girl taking the initiative. She raised funds. And this gentleman, come. What's your name? Come this side.
I'm John.
John.
Matthew Ekichu.
He wore a limb. You please tell.
Ashita,
Tell your
can you
experience.
please comment on how you, Mr. John came in contact with you?
It was about 2 months ago when John had reached out to me via email. He said that he needed a new prosthetic. His old one was outdated and old, and it was causing him pain. When I received that email, I knew I had to do something. I knew I had to take it to the right people. I had sent it over to the team of Jaipur Foot USA. From there, John went to India, sponsored by the Funds from Prosthetics for Change, and he got a new prosthetic. Thank
Now,
you.
just a minute. You tell me, or tell the dignitaries here, how many days you took in getting a limb?
So it took 2 days.
2 days.
In 2 days he was walking with the Jaipur foot.
What was the weight of your earlier limb?
It was about 6.5.
6.5 kg. What's the weight of this limb now?
2.5.
2.
Earlier this was 6.5 kg. Now the Jaipur foot that he is wearing is quite tight. It's not even 130, it is about 2.5 kg.
In fact, we ensured that he should be present here today. He landed this morning. He went to Jaipur. Other thing is, her principal happened to meet me. Is he here?
No.
Principal of,
No,
not here? Your principal is not here?
no, I don't think so.
No, sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, Ashita. That's great. I mean, mobilizing the youth is extremely important, and continue the good job. So I'm thanking once again everyone for being part of this extremely interactive discussion, bringing forth the work of Jaipur Foot and all the goodwill it has created in 29 countries, and much more to come, Mr. Mehta, under your leadership.